Hello, thank you. This is lesson 4. Thank you for staying with me. Now, in this lesson 4, we want to take a look at the cells and conditional formatting. We look at cell formatting and basic conditional formatting in Excel. Now, when you have your raw data, for example, let's say we just have this raw data. Now, one of the very first things, if you are very conversant with Excel and if you do a lot of work in Excel, you see that in most cases you need to do a lot of formatting. And the goal of formatting is that you want to make your work attractive. You want to make it factually attractive to whoever that is reading it or using it. So when you receive raw data, there is need for you to do a lot of formatting. Now, for example, you just receive this data, and as you can see how it looks like. So the goal of formatting is that I want to make it better than what we have. Now, the first thing that you can do is that you can simply, for example, you can go to the view tab and then uncheck this grid line. So we can just uncheck this grid line in the view tab, and then here you may want to align this and put borders, all borders as we have. This header you want to bold, as you can see, and then you want to give it a background color. So when you click here under this theme color, you can choose any of the background color as you want. So let me just give it this, and then we want to change the text color to be the, and as you can see, that is much more attractive than what we have before. So all this also we can format. For example, we have this, we can put it in the middle, or we just leave it this way. This is already in the middle. You can put it here, or you can put it here, or you can just leave it in the middle, and all of that. So we have that, and you can see that the little formatting that we have applied has actually made it to be more readable, more visually attractive to whoever that will be using this data set. Now, other thing that we can do is that as far as conditional formatting is concerned, let's come here. For example, this data also, we have our month, and then we have maybe our weekly sales. So we can highlight this data, can highlight it and give it a border just to make it easily readable. These no, these are numbers. I guess these are numerical values, so we can apply a bit of formatting. So I want to select this range and then click here. You can click here, or on your keyboard you can just press on Control 1. The Control 1 we actually, sorry, I'll just press on Control 1, and then it will pop up this dialog box. From here we have a lot of formatting that you can apply, from general to number to currency to accounting, date, time. All of these are there, and even have the custom that you can apply. We have text functions, scientific, and all of that that you can apply to your data set depending on what you want to do. So from where, what I want to do is that, for example, I can put in a decimal, let's say 2 decimal places. I can use 1,000 separator, as you can see. I can go to currency and give it a naira sign or a dollar sign, as the case may be. There's so many type of currency that are there and all of that. From here, I can change the border, I can change the color, I can give it a border, I can give it a free color, I can even protect the sheet. Of course, we are going to get there, but for now, I stay in the formatting, so I can click on OK, and then you see that the number are actually better readable now. Now, other thing I can do here is that, for example, I may want to center this, I may want to center this month, I may want to center this month. But in most cases, what we do is that we want to align this and say merge and center. We want to do this and say merge and center. We want to do it and do merge and center. But this is time consuming. So your goal is that you want to be efficient and reduces the time. So instead of doing it one after the other, you can just highlight one and press on your control key and highlight the second and highlight the third, and then you just click merge and center, and once you have carried out the operation and you have reduced time. Now that is that, but I don't want to advise that you merge and center all the time. The reason is that because sometimes when you merge and center, let me show you, when you merge and center this way, if I want to add this, it becomes a problem. Let's say, for example, I want to sum all the values together. it becomes a problem for me to pick the range I want to sum. And that's why it's not advisable that you merge and center all the time. So what can you do? Now, what you can do is this. Let me reduce this. Now you can go to press on Control 1 and then you have this number format. Go to alignment. Now under horizontal where we have general, just click on this drop down and then you just pick center across selection. This is a better option than merge and center. So center across selection, click on OK, and then we have our month. Those ones are now centralized in our data set, and that does not affect any other numerical calculation that you may want to do. You can pick it from here, and then you see that I'm able to pick my range and I'm able to sum my values. So that's one thing. So you prefer that you use the center across selection than rather merge and center as you work in Excel. Now, other formatting that we can do is that, for example, we want to apply some basic conditional formatting to our data set. For example, let's say I want to highlight those students that pass and fail. I can come here and say pass, and then I can say, let me give it a green color, but this is not efficient. You may have thousands and it will take a lot of time and it will work will full of errors. So what do we do in such a case? Just highlight where you want to apply the conditional formatting. On your home tab, go to conditional formatting and then highlight sales rules. Now under value text that contain, there are two texts. You have pass. So those people that pass, you may want to give it a green color or a green color. Second, just click on conditional formatting again, and then you come to text that contain, and then you can just type it fail, and then you have the color is already selected. Then I want to click on OK, and then you see that this is actually very attractive now, and virtually it's very appealing to whoever. So you are able to see who passed and who failed. That's the essence of conditional formatting. Now, other things I can do with number here is that, for example, I may want to find sales that are greater than 50,000. Let's call it that. So I can come here and says highlight sales rule greater than. I can just put my figure and say, oh, I want to highlight those sales that are greater than 50,000 with green color. And then I may want to have it, and then you see now data says all the sales that are greater than 50,000 and be highlighted. There are so many other formatting that you can apply. If you go to conditional formatting, you can highlight top 10, percentage, bottom 10, and all of that above average. You can just set your rule. There's so many other things that you can do. You can use the bar set, the data bars. You can just put it this way, so you have all of these that you can use as a form of graphical representation of your data. You have color scale, they are there, so you can just pick all of these. You have the icon set that you can use and all of that, so to represent your data. So there are a lot with conditional formatting, and also you can set new rule, you can use formula and all of that to determine. Now we're going to see that in a moment. So you can see that we now have a better graphical, you can see that we now have a better, something that is better than the data that we just inherited. Now other thing that you may want to do under cell formatting is that, for example, if you right click, if you have text or number in any cell, and if you right click, there are a lot of things that you can do. You can copy it, you can cut it, you can delete, you can insert, you can even filter and sort, and then you can insert comment, and then you see you can put the comment here, and if you delete the name, and then you may want to right click under this text box, and then you can group, you can edit text, you can even format the comment. You can see that we have the font. You can select the font that you want, how you want it, the size, and every other. You can even select color, a strike through, a subset, and all of that. So as a form of formatting that you can do with all of your data. So I want to cancel, I don't want to have this, so I will just remove the comment there and set up automatic borders, auto border for our data set. For example, let's say you have ID, name, and then you have the score, and then you want to start entering data in this place. You can set up automatic borders with Excel. It's very simple. So just highlight the range like this. You can select the entire range like this, or you can just select few one depending on the number of data you want to enter. So let me select the whole stuff like this, and then I'll go to conditional formatting. I will say new rule, and then I will say use a formula to determine, and then I'll come here, let me put it here, and then under this place I'll simply click under this use a formula to determine. I'll simply click here, and then I will remove the absolute reference, this particular $sign here, and then I'll click on format. I'll click on outline border, then I'll click on OK, and then I'll click on OK, and then we have it. So from here we just type, let's say 1, you have your border, 2, you have your border, 3, you have your border, 4, you have your border, and so on and so forth like that. So you begin to have it, and by the time you just delete, the border will automatically disappear. The border will automatically disappear, as you can see. By the time you just enter anything in the range, the border will automatically appear once again. So these are basic conditional formatting that we can set up. Now, another one that we should know is format painters. Now, format painter is very useful in Excel because you may want to quickly copy the format of a particular cell and apply it. For example, these things, let's say I want to apply this formatting to it. Now I don't have to start going all over and doing the work again. I will just highlight, click on it, and then click on format painters, and then drag it this way, and then you see that automatically the format has been applied to this very place. Now if I want to apply it to more than one place, what I will do is that once I click on the format, I will double click on the format painters. I'll click where I want to apply it to, I'll click on where I want to apply it to, and then you see it that the format has been applied. So I can continue to apply it for as many as possible, as long as you can see that my cursor has actually changed. So once you are done, you press on the escape key, and then you are done. Now that's about format painter. This is the F4. The F4 is primarily in Excel. The F4 is used for two things. Number one is that you can use the F4 to have an absolute reference. Let's say I want to sum all these values together. I can apply an absolute reference. For example, I'll just press on my F4 on the keyboard, and then it will apply this $sign, making it an absolute reference. Now I'll click on OK, and let's say this format, I now decided to apply this format to it, and then let's say I now have a number like 78, and I want to apply this same format. I don't have to go back and start clicking on this. With the F4, I can just press on my F4 once again, and then it will simply apply that same format. You can see, just press on the F4 to apply the same format as the one that has been applied before. So that's basically what the F4 does. Thank you so much. I'll see you in lesson 5.